Okay, so first let's have a look and do a bit of an inspection in there to see what we got provided by Apple. So as you can see, we don't get the SCN assets folder like we used to, but we get directly here a scene.sks. So that's a SpriteKit scene, and it's just an empty scene like this. Right, so that would appear to look like a phone size. Then we have a scene, which is an SK scene, and we have different functions here that are actually not implemented at all. So did move, update, that seems pretty useless to me. Then here we can, so every time that the touches began here, you will see that okay, so yeah, the scene view, so we have a scene view, we cast basically the view as an ARSK view, and that's all we do really. Okay, so that would be the first thing. So when we have the scene view, we are getting the current frame from the scene view, and that enables us to do a matrix multiplication here. So we get a transform made of, so the current camera's transform, which is position plus angle, and a translation. So the translation is here. So what they do in here is basically just say we want to be 20 centimeters in front of the camera, and that's why we do here a SIMD multiplication, taking the camera's transform, so wherever the physical camera of your phone is, and multiply with the translation, so that we get a new transform, a new position plus angles, and we can create an AR anchor. And every time that we add, so when we touch, every time we touch, we'll create a new anchor that's going to be 20 centimeters in front of the camera, and we are adding this anchor to our scene view session. Okay, so when we go then into our view controller, so pretty much the same as usual, I can just delete all of these things that we don't really need, and here we've got so our scene that is going to be loaded from the file scene here. I'm not sure why, to be fair, because there's nothing in the scene, so you probably can just delete that. And then what we have is our normal configuration as usual, so that's the exact same, the AR world tracking configuration. View will disappear, we pause the session, as usual. Memory warning, yeah, we should probably keep that in at some point, but for the purposes of this video, we're not. Okay, so then here we have our something that we've seen before, right? So when we have this node for anchor, we return an SK node. So it's basically every time that we have an anchor, we are going to, so SpriteKit or ARKit is going to create a node for this anchor. Now in here, I don't know why there's this semicolon here that looks very Objective-C to me. You can delete this because Swift is no semicolon anywhere. Then yeah, so what we're doing here is just to create a label, so SpriteKit SK label node. So it's a lot more practical than with SceneKit, because you don't have to have a 3D text. You can just add some text basically. So here obviously the text we have is this little alien thing, and then we just make sure that it is always vertically and horizontally centered, and we just return that label node to be attached to the anchor. All right, and then we have those that we don't really need. Okay, cool. So that's all we have. That's all we need. In the next section, I'm going to start making some proper changes. What I've done so far is really to clean up a little bit. So I'm just removing some stuff. That's all we really need here. Next section, we are going to go into this main.storyboard, and we are going to change the user interface a little bit.